If you're struggling with making the most out of the DJI Osmo 360, I got you covered. In this video, I'm gonna give you the best cinematic settings to make the most out of this camera. I actually spent the last couple of weeks or so really pushing the limits of this camera, and people were asking, how the hell did your footage look that crisp? So I thought I'd give you a full breakdown, no gatekeeping, of my go-to settings, depending on the situation I find myself in. Let's start with a blank canvas. So we're gonna go into the camera and we hit settings, and then we enable the Pro function, which allows us to tweak individual things such as exposure, white balance, color, and image adjustments. So first things first, we're gonna change the color profile. So the Osmo 360 allows you to shoot in a D-Log M color profile at 10 bits, which basically allows you to have way more dynamic range later in post to color correct your footage. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna change from normal 10-bit to D-Log M 10-bit. When you choose the D-Log M color profile, it will also ask you if you want to turn on the color recovery, and you definitely want to do that, because basically what that does is it gives you a preview of what it would look like when you convert the D-Log M to Rec 709 later in post. This will give you better control of how to expose when you're in the field. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to jump into image adjustments, and when you click on that, you have two things to choose from. You have texture and noise reduction. In my opinion, the best results is when you choose texture -2, because it removes the sharpness of the image, which I'm not really a fan of. And then for noise reduction, we keep it at 0, because I didn't see a big difference if you increase or decrease that. If you're like me, you probably got this camera because it shoots in 8K 50 frames per second, and man, 8K 50, I mean, everything looks good in those settings. So let me walk you through how I set up the exposure for this shooting mode. You have two things to choose from. One is the manual mode, and the other one is the auto mode. Most of the time, shooting in auto is completely fine, especially when you shoot at 8K 50 and during the day. The only thing you need to pay attention to though when you shoot in auto is that you make sure that your shutter speed is never below 100. The reason for that is that the higher the shutter speed, the less vibration you have, and the lower the shutter speed, the more vibration you will have. Even throughout the project, when I was shooting on the Osmo 360, whenever we had a shutter speed of 100 or less, you could definitely see that there was vibration in the footage, which kind of makes it look mushy. So you always want to make sure that you have a high shutter speed. Now here's the tricky part though, and I hope DJI is going to fix this in the future. On the actual camera, you can only choose an EV value, whereas when you change the settings on the app, you can actually choose the maximum shutter speed that you want to shoot at. This usually ensures that your shutter speed won't go below 100 when you shoot during the day. If you shoot at nighttime, different story, but we get to that later in this video. For the ISO, I always like to be between 100 and 800. You can also push it further, and you can go from 100 to 1600, but this is usually where I would cap it. Anything above 1600 will introduce too much noise into your footage. And of course, as I said before, there is also the manual mode where you will be able to choose the exact shutter speed that you want to shoot at, as well as the ISO. But to be honest, you really got to know what you're doing, because sometimes there will be situations where you really know what you're exposing for, because you're just, stagnant and you're not moving as much. Maybe you're just in a really well lit situation. So you can definitely go ahead and choose to shoot in manual, but most of the time, auto is the way to go. Now, while shooting in 8K will give you way more flexibility in post, it also comes with some downsides. And one of them is that the file size is huge, and it will also take more processing power to reframe it later in post. So just something to be mindful of. So if you want smaller file sizes, or your processing power later in post is just not as high, you can just shoot at 6K and you will still have great quality footage. Now, the only time I would ever shoot in 4K is when I need to slow things down significantly. And in the Osmo 360, you can actually shoot in up to 100 frames per second. This will obviously give you buttery smooth slow motion later when you slow it down. But something to note is that when you do shoot in 4K 100, make sure that your shutter speed is a bit higher than 100, ideally around 200 to 300, because when you do action sports, you really want no vibration whatsoever to capture every single detail. So if you keep the shutter speed higher than at least 200, let's say, you get the best possible outcome. Now, all the settings that I just mentioned before are all well and good when you shoot in daytime, when things are very well lit. But what about nighttime? And there is a bit of a difference that you need to pay attention to, which is you make sure to shoot at 8K 30 or 8K 50, but most importantly, choose the manual exposure mode. You remember earlier I mentioned it briefly, but when you shoot at nighttime, you want to keep your shutter speed fixed, as well as your ISO, because that will really help you to squeeze as much quality out of this camera than you can. And the results will speak for themselves. From my experience, and as you can see in this clip, I shot this in 8K 50, 1/200 shutter, and the ISO was 800. This is usually the sweet spot when you shoot at low light, because it doesn't introduce as much noise to the footage. And if you shoot it in D-Log M, you really have freedom later in post to, grade it to your liking. Speaking of D-Log M, if color grading is something that you're not really comfortable with, or you just have the time for it, I have created a cinematic LUT bundle specifically designed for the D-Log M color profile, which works perfectly on the Osmo 360. And I'm going to put a link down below, and if you use the code 360, you can save yourself 20% off. If you want to see the settings that I used in action, I highly recommend to check out the other 2 videos that I'm going to put up here. They give you a bit of a better idea of what it looks like when you really push the limits of this camera. And I also have a full behind the scenes vlog where I really walk you through each scenario when I shoot on this camera. I hope this was helpful. And if you have any more questions, put them down below and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Let's go.